very first thing I want you to do if you are trying to open a Truist business account is to actually find the nearest branch. Okay, very important. The bank allows you to open a business account online, but it's just a lot better when you actually speak to a rep first before opening your Truist business account. So here are the steps I want you to follow right now. So you have to really choose your Truist business checking account. So Truist has a diversity of business checking accounts. So it's really important to make sure that the business checking account that you choose is actually in direct correlation with your operational needs. In other words, it must be a sync between your choice of a business checking account and your current level of revenue. For example, don't worry about the initial choice. You can actually change later on, not a problem. So Truist has a couple of business checking accounts. The first one is the Truist Simple Business Checking Account. So as the name implies, this is actually for businesses that have a lower level of operational needs right now. Maybe your revenue are smaller. Maybe you're a small business. Maybe you are a startup. So Truist Simple Business Checking will be great for you. Okay. And it is a straightforward business checking account from Truist with no monthly maintenance fees. And this is perfect if you are just starting out. So here you have 50 monthly transactions at no charge. You have 2,000 cash processing per month at no charge, and there is no monthly maintenance fee. So this is really, really, really the low tier business checking account at Truist. Okay, so there are benefits that come with this checking account. So you have a Truist business debit card for you and any employees you choose. You have a personalized business debit cards with your logo or custom art. You have $25 discount on your first order of checks, and you can add deals and earn cash back. So this is really great. Okay, so this is the best account for you if you don't want to have a minimum balance requirements. If you complete fewer than 50 transactions per month, and you have under $2,000 per month in cash deposit. So you can see that this is really for a startup. This is really for a solopreneur. This is really for a sole proprietorship. This is really for an independent contractor who's just starting his or her activity. So Truist Simple Business Checking. The second account I want to talk to you about is called the Truist Dynamic Business Checking. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this kind of convos every now and then, talking about how to open business accounts at big national banks or big regional banks. And when we talk about Truist, it's really important to understand that their Truist Dynamic Business Checking Account is really great. It's great if you are a small business. It's great if you are a growing business. It's great if you're a mid-sized business. It's great if you're a multi-member LLC or a single-member LLC. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Here you have 500 monthly transactions at no charge, $25,000 cash processing per month at no charge, and there is a monthly maintenance fee of $20 that is waived with $5,000 balance. Personally, and as a company, we advise all our clients to go for the Truist Dynamic Business Checking Accounts. We as a company also have this account, okay, the Dynamic Business Checking. It is a fantastic account, okay. And so when we talk about this Dynamic Business Checking Account at Truist, your combined balance across all your Truist business accounts, checking, savings, money markets, and CDs determine your reward level, okay. And this is really good because you do have dynamic business checking reward levels that come with this account. And as your balance changes, you'll automatically move between those reward levels. Okay. So what are the core rewards with this account? If your business has less than $25,000 in combined deposits, you can get core rewards. And if your business has $25,000 to $50,000 in combined deposit, you have access to plus rewards. And if your business has more than $50,000 in combined deposits, you can unlock preferred rewards. Okay, this is the trifecta you need to pay attention to. And one thing we love about this card is that you have benefits at every level. You can earn more miles with the Delta Sky Miles Business Debit Card. You have a loyalty bonus on a Truist Business Credit Card rewards redemptions. Okay, no monthly maintenance fee for a personal Truist Dimension checking account. You have access to financial services, financial wellness training for your employees. You have added fraud protection with ID notified by Experian, and you have personalized business debit card with your logo or custom art. I just said that, but this is really good. It is really good. And so this is actually the best account if you have a range of banking needs. You want to maximize your rewards, for example. You complete over 50 transactions per month, and you make over $2,000 per month in cash deposits. The next account I want to talk to you about, this is actually great if you are a nonprofit. So, by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. What are we talking about? I'm explaining to you very simply how to open a Truist business account, business checking account, business savings account, business account in general. So the third category of checking accounts, business checking accounts that you have at Truist is called the Truist Community Checking. This is better for nonprofits. I really need to mention that. So this is kind of cool. So here you have 225 monthly transactions at no charge. You have unlimited cash processing per month at no charge, and there is no maintenance fee. So $0 monthly maintenance fee. Okay, this is really great. So what are the benefits for you? Well, you have no charge on monthly cash deposits, Truist business debit card for you and any employees you choose. You have easy digital account management, and you have a free online bill pay. The easy digital account management is really, really important, especially when it comes to fundraising initiatives. Okay, if you're a nonprofit and every now and then you actually run fundraising campaigns, Truist actually gives you a constellation of features in this account that allows you to process donations really quick, to see things in a consolidated manner, to actually help you in terms of filing your nonprofit's taxes, to actually meet your 501c3 reporting commitments or reporting obligations. And so this is really great. So this is the best account if you are a nonprofit or a small community or civic organization. Okay, and if you complete fewer than 225 transactions per month. Okay, so that's the cap. If you actually make more transactions, Truist will start charging. They'll start charging you on a per transaction basis. Okay, but so if you anticipate making more than that, you want to go to a branch and you want to talk to an advisor so they can actually set your business account the proper way. Okay, so again, the Truist Community Check-in is only for nonprofits or small community or civic organizations. One thing I also need to say here is that you cannot actually go from Truist Community Checking to the Truist Dynamic Business Checking. No. In other words, you can't go from a nonprofit business account to a for-profit business account. You have to actually start over. So the first step is you need to choose your Truist business checking accounts. The second step is you need to choose your Truist business savings account if needed. Now, we advise you to actually have a business savings account with Truist. This will help you a lot. This will help you in terms of not only your liquidity management, but also in terms of beefing up your relationship with Truist. Okay. And so when it comes to business savings account, you do have a few accounts to actually consider. So you have the Truist Simple Business Savings. Here you have 20 monthly deposited items, 5,000 monthly cash deposits, and the monthly maintenance fee can be $5 or $0 depending on the setup. Okay, and here are the benefits for you. You can make 6 no-fee transfers or withdrawals per month. You can deposit up to 20 items and $5,000 in cash each month at no charge. Really good. And you can earn more on a rewards-based business credit card or Truist Dynamic Business Checking accounts. So this is a great account for you if you want to avoid a monthly maintenance fee by maintaining a minimum balance, and you expect to maintain a balance of less than $5,000. Okay, and you also have another one. You have the Truist Business Money Market account. So here you can actually, if you have 10 monthly deposited items, $5,000 monthly cash deposit, and the monthly maintenance fee can be $10 or nothing, depending on how you actually set things up. So this is a great account for you if you keep over $5,000 in business savings and you want to write checks or make monthly make payments directly from your savings account. Okay, And so this is kind of cool. So actually you have easy access to your funds and check writing capabilities. You make 6 no-fee transfers or withdrawals per month. You can deposit up to 10 items and $5,000 per month for free. You can earn more rewards on a rewards-based business credit card. So this is kind of cool. You also can have Truist Business CDs, so business certificate of deposits. Those are really great also, okay? You can choose your term from 7 days to 10 years. This is really great. You have reliable returns based on a guaranteed fixed interest rate. So this is the best account if you can leave your cash in place for the length of the CD and you want to lock in a competitive interest rate and earn guaranteed returns. I want to quickly remind you of today's topic again, because it's really important to contextualize or recontextualize the conversation we're having. I'm talking to you about how to open a Truist business account. So we have seen the different types of business checking accounts they have. We have seen the different types of business savings account they have. We have now, let me talk to you about, you need to gather your paperwork and go to a Truist branch or apply online. Now, I've said this before, you can apply online, but we advise all our clients, all our business clients, all our viewers to actually apply at a Truist branch. Okay, so first you need to have a personal identification paperwork. So you need to have a government issued ID, photo ID, such as a driver's license or passport, if you want to open a Truist business bank account. And at some branches, they might actually ask you for two forms of photo IDs. Okay. And you also need to give your personal mailing address and contact information along with your date of birth and social security number. And now, if you are a business with multiple owners, you typically need to include personal details and identification for every owner with 25% or more ownership in the business. This is kind of important because Truist just wants to make sure that they have the right information on file. You need to understand big banks such as Truist, they have to, even smaller banks also, they have to comply with something called KYC. So know your customer. So it's a set of regulatory directives that is aimed at helping the government fight money laundering. So Truist want to know more about your business. So you just have to comply, okay? Not a problem. Now, they will ask you also for your employer identification number. So if your business has an EIN, you need to provide that along with any corresponding documents from the IRS, because the Truist will want to see the original IRS EIN notification letter. Okay, and sole proprietors and single member LLCs may be able to use their social security number. It really depends on the branch, on the Truist branch where you apply at, but generally they are okay with that. So if you are a sole proprietor, if you are an independent contractor, just in general, if you don't have an EIN, Truist is okay with that. You got to be ready to provide business details. This is where Truist is really thorough. They like to go granular, they like to ask questions, and they really want to probe you. You need to understand this is really, again, going back to what I said about the KYC regulations. So they'll ask you questions, okay? So they'll actually ask you for things like your business name and address, as well as your trade name or DBA name. So DBA is doing business as, okay, if applicable. So beyond that, you'll need to actually list your business entity type, whether you are a sole proprietorship, you are a partnership, you are an LLC, or a corporation. If you're a corporation, are you an S corporation or a C corporation? Okay. And you need to disclose the industry you're in and the type of business you operate. Again, those are for KYC purposes. And but also for Truist to really know what kind of business you're in. It's important for them. Like later on, if they were to lend you, if they were to approve you for a business line of credit or a business loan, it's just a lot better for them to have a clear idea about the industry you're in. Okay. And so they also need to see your organizing documents, all the agreements also. Okay. The documents you need to provide to the Truist branch where you're applying at depend on how your business is set up. Okay. So here are a set of common requirements for different entity types. So you have sole proprietorships. Well, they want to have a business name registration certificate, business license. For partnerships, you want to have a partnership agreement, a business name registration certificate, business license, state certificate of partnership. Okay, it really depends on, as you know, partnerships and LLCs are state affairs. They are they are formed at the state level, right? So for LLCs, Truist will want to see articles of organization, the LLC operating agreement, the business licenses and permits if applicable. For corporations, Truist will want to see articles of incorporation, the corporate bylaws, business licenses and permits if applicable. So the thing I'm trying to say here is that, normally when you actually form your business, okay, this is why I was talking about organizing documents. When you form your business, you are given a set of paperwork. I said that's what you want to bring to the nearest Truist branch. And the good thing is, if you have no idea, if you somehow forget or you don't understand what I'm saying, it's just a lot better to go to a nearest branch. As I said before, it's just a lot better to go to the source so you can ask all questions and gather the intel you need to gather before opening. Because you can go to a branch and say, you know what, I'm not ready today to open an account. I'll come back tomorrow. Let me think about it. Okay, let me think through it. So there is no obligation here. Don't feel like, you got to really make a decision right then and there. You don't have to. Now you have to prepare something called the opening deposit. If you remember, I was talking to you about the 3 types of business checking accounts at the Truist, and you need to understand that some Truist branches require an opening deposit, which can range from $5 to $1,000. Okay, and so it really depends on the branch. The thing is that Truist at the national level has a policy, but some branches are autonomous when it comes to setting their own policy. Okay, this is important. So in choosing the business checking account, the Truist business checking account that you want to have, think about whether you want something for everyday use. You have to think about your business's size. This is really important, and you also need to think about your geography. Let's say you want to have a Truist business account, okay? Because right now your business operates in a state where Truist is present. But what about the future? What about 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Would you be in the same state? So you got to think about the long term here. You got to think about scalability. You got to think about what really works, what will work for your company down the road, right? So it's really important. Think about the monthly fees. Think about the minimum balance requirements. Think about like the included fee-free transactions. ATM access, again, for withdrawals and deposits. Remember, Truist is not a national player, which means you are going to be, if you travel, you may be in a state where Truist does not have their own ATMs, right? Are they charging you for it, or they are waiving whatever fees the ATM owner is charging? So those are things I really want you to think about. Okay, you also need to think about the fact that before choosing a Truist checking accounts, think about the additional features that you might need, such as bill pay, for example, invoicing, or integrations with other business tools. Okay, for example, QuickBooks, Wave, Xero, or other software. So if integrations is really important for you, so you have to think about that. The point I'm trying to make here is that you have to think about it's not just about the opening deposits. That you can actually find real quick, but you got to think about whether you want a business checking accounts at a that is minimal, just to start, or you want something that is that's fully fledged. And also, if you need a savings account, are you looking for a long-term savings or a short-term savings? Okay, so those are really important. So those should be paramount in your decision-making process, and this will help you actually form and cultivate a better relationship with Truist down the road. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about how to open a Truist business account. So we talked about the 3 types of business checking accounts at Truist. We have the Truist Simple Business Checking. We have the Truist Dynamic Business Checking. And we have the Truist Community Checking. In terms of savings account, we have the Truist Simple Business Savings. And we have the Truist Business Money Market Account. And we have the Truist Business CDs. And I just also ended the conversation by talking to you about how to actually apply, gather your paperwork and go to a Truist branch to open your account. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.